As a new online coach just getting started, there's 4 phases that you have to go through in order to succeed in your online coaching business. Let's talk about them. Phase 1, becoming the expert. In this phase, what you're doing is you're learning as much as possible about the coaching industry that you're in. 2, you're also learning about the coaching industry itself, and you're developing a business around those 2 things. Do not start a coaching business in something that you've never done before, you know nothing about, and it doesn't relate to your normal everyday life. Start a coaching business that honestly comes pretty natural to you. If you're a fitness head, you should probably jump into a fitness business. If you're anything like me, I love social media. I'm always learning about social media. I'm always watching videos on social media and learning this and learning that. So it's really easy for me to join a business or to start a business coaching other people on social media and how to run it and how to, get clients from it. I didn't have to really learn anything outside of what I was already learning. So that's gonna be your very first step, is to become an expert in the field that you want to coach on. This could take years, this could take months. For some people, you already have their information, right? If you're starting from zero and you're looking for an industry to get in, there's no lack of industries, right? There's fitness, there's leadership, there's dating, relationship coaching, there's business coaching, there's finance, there's anything that you are passionate about, there's probably a coaching business that can be built around it, right? For God's sake, there's people who have photography coaching businesses, there's people who have, you name it. I don't even want to go into the list of things that they have, but there's a lot of them. Pregnancy coaches, whatever. At the end of the day, know that you're gonna start watching the content different than you've ever watched it before. So instead of watching content to be entertained, you need to watch content to be informed and educated. You need to watch content that teaches you more of the behind the scenes versus the flashy good stuff. Start spending your days watching other gurus and coaches in that same industry talk about the industry that you're looking to get into. Watch how-tos, tutorials, video walkthroughs. Watch everything you can before you start your coaching business. That way, when you do start your coaching business, you have a list of ideas that you can, I don't want to say steal from, but for lack of better words, you can steal from. Phase 2, once you get the business started, you got your offer, you've started to create content, you know exactly what you're doing. In order to start getting clients, you're gonna have to bite the bullet. That's the very first thing. You're gonna have to bite the bullet. By that I mean, you're probably not gonna make that much money in the beginning. You're gonna be doing trials, you're gonna be selling yourself short because you don't have testimonials to say, here's what I can do, here's the proof, right? When I first started, I took on 4 clients, all for free. And I told them I would work with them until I helped them get to, I think it was, I helped them make their first 6K, and then they would pay me, they paid me 3K out of the 6K, and then I worked with them for another 6 months after that with no charge. So I did that for 4 different clients, and I was able to get a lot of social proof from it. I was able to learn a lot about my business. I was able to help them build their business and start their coaching businesses. So it's going to be the same for you if you're starting from zero with no testimonials and no social proof, just jumping into things. In this phase, you are just trying to get case studies as fast as possible, because the more case studies you have, the higher you can raise your price, the faster people will start signing up with you, and the easier the sales process goes, because they can see that you've already done this, they have proof, and you just have to get in front of them. I highly recommend starting your pricing off pretty low. I don't say low, but fairly low. I'd say $1,500 to $2,000 starting out, and then as you start getting those case studies, you start getting results, and you start helping people out, maybe raise those prices a little bit over time. I'd say maybe $1,500 higher for every 3 people you sign up, but it really just ranges, depends on the type of business you're running and who your dream client is and what they can afford. Phase 3, your customer bites the bullet. What I mean by this is you found these, 3, 4, 5 different customers, and you are trying to get testimonials. However, because you're still new, you're still learning. So a lot of these guys are like lab rats. You're trying stuff, failing, adjusting, trying, failing, adjusting, and you're kind of doing it on someone else's dime, which is why you really want to become the expert in the beginning before you even jump into phase 2. But some people don't have patience, and so they jump into things too early. They start working with people and things don't go the way that they were planned. And so this is where you start getting a lot of refunds. This is where you start to make a bad name for yourself, because you should probably have a coach just like they have a coach. As a coach for your clients, your number one objective is to get them results. They're at X, your goal is to get them to Y. That's it. They just need to get to their destination, and they're trusting you and they're paying you to get them to that destination. If you can't do that, I highly suggest giving them a refund and moving on, going back to step 1, learning about your business, learning how to actually do the job, hiring a coach to, in your same field, hiring another coach to help you so that way you can see what to do and what not to do. For example, before starting my business, I hired coaches as well. I hired coaches to teach me how to run ads. I hired coaches to teach me how to locate my dream client and solve their pain points and figure out their solutions. I've read books on this stuff. I've watched tons and tons and tons of hours of videos on content creation and branding and this and that. And so when I started my business, I knew I had an arsenal of tools in my backpack that I could pull out at any second to help pretty much any client out that needed assistance with what I was coaching them on. And phase 4 is business as usual. This is where your main objective at this point is to just find new clients and work with them, right? You've become the expert, you bit the bullet, and you took lower prices to sign on new clients. The customers bit the bullet where they had to just trust you and believe that you knew what you were doing until you got them testimonials and you were able to get proof that you knew what you were doing. Now, you just have to figure out a way to consistently get clients day in, day out, month in, month out, with the case studies that you have, and then you're off to the races. However, this is where a lot of people screw up. A lot of people screw up right here because they have no clue how to get consistent clients. They have no clue how to get a consistent sales calendar day in, day out, month in, month out. They start, at this point, they have the proof, and so they go off and they start doing cold DMs, they start doing group posts, they start doing cold calls, they start posting content, and honestly it goes nowhere because they don't know how to get the client that they want in front of them in a sales call consistently. This is where I come in. Chances are, if you're watching this video, you probably have a good business, you probably are making some money in your business. The issue is that it's inconsistent. One month you're at 10K, next month you're at 3K, next month you're at 15K, next month you're at 2K, and you're all over the place because there's no actual process dialed in with your messaging, with your content, with your brand. You're doing cold outreach, you're relying on a bunch of content that you don't even know if it's gonna work or not, and you're all over the place. Even worse, you're fooling yourself because what you think is that if you just did more work, you'll have more clients. And I'm here to tell you that that's simply not true. If right now you're sending out 100 messages a day trying to get new clients, and you're thinking, oh, if I sent out 200 messages a day, that'll do the job, by all means, go for it. If that's what you want to do, and you go for it. I'm here to tell you there's an easier way, there's a simpler way, and you don't have to do that. If you want to go ahead and hire somebody and tell them to do 100 messages as well, and you're going to do 100 messages too, by all means, go for it. I'm just here to tell you there's an easier way. You don't have to lose all your profit hiring people to go send out cold DMs for you where you get blocked after a certain amount of days anyway. It's very simple. You need to figure out who your dream client is, what their pain points are, talk about the solution, and start running ads. Now, you can go and try to do that by yourself. You can waste a bunch of money, and it is what it is. But if you want help doing that, and you want a consistent calendar, and you want sales calls booked every single day, every single week on your calendar, where you don't have to worry about sending cold DMs or not sending cold DMs. Guys, I've never sent cold DMs in my business. Not once. I have 0 cold DMs in my coaching business because I simply figured out how not to have to do that crap. And you don't have to do it either. It's a complete waste of time. You end up just begging people to work with you and begging people to get on calls with you, and then when they're on the call with you, you have to beg them to pay you, and no one wants to be begged and no one wants to be a beggar. And so if you're tired of being a beggar and you want consistent cash flow in your business and you want to stop having fluctuating months and you want to be consistent, book a call below and I'll personally help you out. With that, guys, that about wraps this video up. But if you're new, those are the 4 steps you have to go through. Be the expert, bite the bullet, your customers bite the bullet, business as usual. So with that, catch you guys on the next one. Peace.